Welcome to RMS Sales Training and Inspiration. Great to have you on the show. I am excited and thrilled. We just had a great sales blitz up in Memphis, Tennessee. We had a super positive crew. We had about 22 people that were up there, and it was absolutely fantastic. And we talk about leadership by example. And I'm not bragging, but I went out there that week and wrote 14 merchants for the entire week, and we had a lot of professionals that were up there: Ricardo Alfonso, Sean Benson, Mitch Torbett, some of our brand new people coming into the business, and they did exceptionally well. This was kind of a unique trip because there was a lot of newer representatives and inexperienced representatives, and those that were on that trip will tell you that they learned more in a week than they probably would have in an entire probably 2 months. And I've already seen the difference between since we left that sales blitz and where we are today. Some of them are getting into consistent production. They're doing great. They're calling me back. I had a few representatives that called me back and said, man, that trip right there, that's what truly made the difference. I'm thanking you for allowing me to go on that trip, and it was absolutely great. We're going to do more and more of those sales blitzes, and what we do on these sales blitzes is fantastic because usually we have about 20, 25 people. We start our day off about 7 o'clock in the morning. So everybody knows this is not a party trip. It's a fun trip, but it's a business trip where we're encouraging all of our representatives to go to a higher level. 7 o'clock in the morning I start out, and we have a great motivational meeting, a training class. Some of our leaders will talk about some different things and share some great things that are helping our representatives. At the end of that meeting, usually lasts for about a half hour, each of our representatives are driving out to their different destinations. And they go out and they work in the field. A lot of times we're pairing up our new representatives, so they're watching some of our professionals working in the field. I had one day where I took one person for the morning. I took another gentleman with me. His name is Tim, out of Atlanta, Georgia, and it was almost like a setup day. I mean, he'd probably look back and say, no way we did that good. It was raining, pouring down rain, and we got out into the field at 9:30. First door we rode up. Second door after that we rode up. Went to a couple other doors, missed them, and then the third door we rode up. We had 3 merchants written within about 2.5 hours. So great training. That's not the way it always goes, but it was absolutely a great day for him to see. So we drive back. We meet at the end of the day. We have a nice meal, a fellowship dinner. Everybody meets up. We're back at the hotel. We're done by 8:30. Everybody goes to bed. We meet at 7 o'clock the next morning. And it's been great. So we're going to do another one probably in February. I'm going to try to do 3 or 4 next year. These are all designed to help you because we want you to be a high performance salesperson with Retriever Merchant Solutions. Today, I'm going to start, probably what we're doing is 3 different episodes on how to read statements. I get this all the time. Representatives calling me up, they're like, I have a statement, I don't know how to read this. And I guarantee you there's some representatives, even to this day, they may be doing it for a year, and they still really don't understand how to read statements. Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to work on that with you. I'm going to take the next 3 shows, and we are going to teach you how to understand merchant statements. This is going to be fantastic. I want you to break out your notebooks. We're going to have statements up on the screen so you'll be able to see those, and we're going to assist you and teach you and train you to get to the next level. So get excited. We're going to take a short commercial break, and I will be back in a few moments. Break out your notebooks and pens, and let's get ready. Hi, it's Rich Norton. I am a board member for the Haven Horse Ranch in St. Augustine, Florida. This is a wonderful ministry that specializes in equine therapy for special needs children. What an amazing ministry. If you'd like to support this ministry, go to havenhorseranch.org, havenhorseranch.org in St. Augustine, Florida, and you will bless somebody and you'll get blessed yourself. Appreciate you doing that. God bless.
Hey everybody, Johnny Van Zandt from Leonard Skinner here with the sign of Hands and Feet. We want you to go out and donate. We want you to go see them. God bless each and every one of you. Support, support, support.
Amen.
Amen. Hey everybody, Johnny Van Zandt here from Skinner. Hey, I want you to donate to the Hands and Feet West Side's the best side. There you go. That's where I was born at. Anyway, hey, listen, they're feeding homeless vets, homeless people, helping people recover. They're a good organization. Don't forget, donate to the Hands and Feet West Side. God bless.
Hello everybody, I'm Amy Gandy from Hands and Feet Foundation. It is a non-profit organization, 501c3, that my husband and I started 4 years ago. What we do is we feed the least of these. We help the least of these in our community and everywhere else if they want to come. We have hot meals every day from 12:30 to 2. After we eat, we have a Bible study every day. We have clothes, food. Once a month we have free doctors, free psychiatrists, a free optometrist, dentists, and these are real licensed practitioners. And we have haircuts on Mondays. We help people get into rehab and detox from drug addiction, life on the street, where they need help. We have homeless shelters that we facilitate with, that if they want to get off the street, we help homeless veterans get off the street because there's no reason they should be out. And how we do all this, we do it for free from donations, volunteers, and from people like y'all. We would like for you to look us up on Facebook, Hands and Feet Westside. We'd like for you to look at our website, handsandfeetfoundation.org. Our address is 7478 103rd Street, Jacksonville, Florida, 32210. The Bible says that when you have done unto the least of these, you have done unto me. Thank you.
Hey everybody, go to handsandfeetfoundation.org and support them. Don't forget, support. For the Son of Man who came to seek and save the lost. Luke 19:10.
Hi, Rich Norton with Retriever Merchant Solutions. I have great news for you today. Many of you have asked about a sales opportunity with our company. The great news is, yes, we definitely do have opportunities. If you're a go-getter, you like meeting people, and you're interested in a position where you can earn residual income, which means make money while you sleep, and great commissions up front, that's what we have here. If you're looking for an opportunity rather than a job, call me at 904-434-4635, or you can email me at opportunity.rps@gmail.com. Look forward to hearing from you. We will teach you, we will train you to become successful. Welcome back. Are you guys ready? We are going to have some valuable information, and I'm going to take you to the next level. Like I said, I'm planning on doing at least probably three in a row, maybe 4 of these shows, which are going to teach you how to understand merchant statements more effectively. And it's important, and I've talked about this before, you want to have some merchant statements in your books that are going to line up with that certain type of business. Average ticket really makes a difference. If a merchant is a restaurant and their average ticket is $5 or $10, have a statement in your book for Retriever that will reflect what will relate to them. If their average ticket is $25, have that. If it's $50, have that. $100, $200, you want to have as many as you possibly can in your book. If it's a business that's taking credit cards over the phone, like a flower shop, you want to have something like that in your book also. There is basically a few different types of statements that you're going to see. When I first started in the business, I saw all we had was what they call tiered statements. And what they did is they took all the different interchanges, and they broke them up into 3 to 4 different categories. You had what they called qualified, which meant a card that is a swiped card. Back then we weren't doing the chip cards, we were talking about it. That's a qualified transaction. The next step that we had was what we call a mid-qualified transaction. And what those were are cards that are rewards cards, cards that some manually keyed in. It takes that to a different level. And usually what would end up happening is a qualified would be like 1.65%, and then they charge a 20-cent transaction fee. A mid-qualified would be like 2.5% and 20 or 25 cents. And then you had what we call a non-qualified transaction. And that's a corporate card, business cards, or cards that are manually keyed in. Those are going to be 3%, 3.5, 3.9. I've seen 4 and 5%. So they take all the different types of cards, the interchanges, which there's hundreds and hundreds of them, and they put it into 3 buckets: qualified, mid-qualified, non-qualified. You still will see some of that today. So if you're ever wondering what that was, that's called tiered processing. There are some merchant companies, unfortunately, that will misrepresent, and they will say, well, you're only going to pay 1% for all your cards, but the reality is they pay 1% for a debit card and a 20-cent transaction fee, but everything else falls into a non-qualified where they end up paying 3 or 3.5%. That's a two-tiered system. So that's another way that they're going out there and presenting it also. So the other processing that they have is what they call interchange plus, also known as cost plus. That's the majority of what we do at Retriever Merchant Solutions. At other statements that you're going to see, that's going to be the majority of what you see also is interchange plus. Now let me break this down so you understand this. What is interchange? Interchange is cost. This is what the banks charge for a credit card, and that's what they charge the merchants. Okay, it's called interchange. And then you have assessments. Assessments is what the credit card companies charge. So when you see that on a statement, you're going to see interchange, and you're going to see all different types of cards. And then you're going to see assessments, which is usually 0.13%, and then you'll see other fees. And then the processing charges a certain amount over that interchange. So that's exactly how that works. So we're going to take some shows, and we're going to break this down to how to understand statements more effectively. I want you guys to get to a point where you can walk into a merchant and not have to use a sales tool, not have to send it into the office and hopefully they get back to you, not have to text or email anyone. That's fine if you're doing that now. That's going to get you through it. I want you to do that as you're starting out. But I want you to get to a point where you can walk into a business, look at a statement, and have so much confidence that you said, oh yeah, you're with this merchant company right here. I know exactly how it works. This, we're going to lower this. Now by doing that, you are going to find the merchant will have much more confidence in you just based on the way that you're presenting that yourself. If you have confidence, the merchant will have confidence in you also. So you want to convey that when you're sharing a merchant statement with the merchant. So let's take it right from here. I'm going to take one of these merchant statements that I have, and here's one that's from I'll give the initials, okay, it's Heartland, all right, Heartland Payment Systems. These statements, we're going to put them up on the screen for you so you'll be able to take a look at it. The first page talks about HPS deposits and fees at a glance. And you'll see Visa deposits, MasterCard deposits, American Express deposits, Discover deposits, and then it has less Heartland Payment Systems processing fees. And you'll see the numbers right there. Now the only thing that you want to know about and where you want to cover is where it says HP processing fees. Everything else does not make a difference at all. And this is going to make it a lot more easier to look at these statements. So going forward, whenever you see a merchant statement from this company, you're going to know exactly what to look for. You'll do it once, you'll do it twice, you'll get it. It's like, okay, that makes a lot of sense to me right now. So page one really just is a breakdown of what they did in volume through every credit card company, what their processing fees, and you may notice like a total value added service. Usually that's a gift card. And I think on this one right here, they were charged $100 for taking gift cards. So if you see total value added services, more than likely that's what that means right there. So you've got page one. You look at another page and there's some messages in there. Now sometimes those messages will normally mean that the rate is going to be going up. So it's good for you to see these statements here, especially if they're going to be getting a rate increase there also. And then you'll go through Heartland fee summary, and that's on page 3. And you may not see this clearly, but that's okay. You're going to have Visa pass-through, interchange, and fees. Again, that's cost. That's what the banks and the credit card companies are charging. Nothing you can do about it. Now, here's one way that you can figure out if they are padding interchange. Okay, I'm going to give you a little secret right now, because sometimes it's almost impossible to figure out unless you know exactly what interchange is. There is something called debit U.S. regulated. What that means, they had a Durbin Act that was passed by Congress several years ago, and they went to the larger banks and they told those banks that you can only charge a certain amount on interchange for taking debit cards. These are banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, some of the larger banks, the multi-billion-dollar banks. Now, that rate is 0.05% plus 22 cents. That's what the regulated debit network fee is. So I'd like for you to go through all the different rates and look for that. Look for U.S. regulated debit. If you see anything, like for example on this statement right here, it says 0.05 plus 22 cents. That means that they are not padding the interchange. Most of the time the merchant companies don't. Some cases they do. So when you see that, go directly to that, and if you see anything different on that U.S. regulated debit that's more than that, that's a trick of what they do of padding interchange. And usually they'll say processing and interchange. I've seen one the other day, it said 0.55 plus 22 cents. So what that told me, they padded the interchange by adding 0.50 on top of it right there. Okay, so that's a little hint for you right there on how to find out if they're padding the interchange. You go down further, you'll see MasterCard pass-through interchange and fees. Same thing. On that particular statement right there, that's what they're calling cost. That's interchange. And then you got the assessment fees. You'll even notice, just like I said, 0.13%. That is what the credit card company is charging for Visa and MasterCard. I'm going to take you to the next page here. And on that page, we have fee summary again. You got MasterCard, and then you've got American Express. They're doing their American Express through OptBlue. Same thing, they've got the rates on there. They got Discover on there. They got the assessment fees. So all this way up to this point, looking at that statement, none of that means anything to you at all. There's nothing you need to do about that. As a matter of fact, I will tell a merchant, I'll say, this is very simple. This is interchange, and this is what the credit card companies charge. If anybody comes in here from this day forward and they say that they're going to lower that interchange and the processing fees, they are completely misrepresenting. There is no possible way that they're going to be able to do that. So you might as well tell them to leave, to move on. If you go down to HP processing fees, that's exactly what you need to look for. Go right to that part of the page every single time. That's going to keep it real simple for you. And how nice is it to be able to go over this statement with a merchant and say, look, I've converted many of the merchants that have this program. I'm going to tell you exactly how it works. You are coming across to them as an educator, as a teacher, as an instructor, as a counselor on how this whole program works. And you're educating and you're working with them, showing them how you're going to help them. So you get to that part right here, and you're going to see many different numbers here. On this particular statement, they're not too bad. They're at 0.25% over interchange, over the cost, and it shows it right there. American Express shows it on MasterCard, shows it on Discover, and it shows on the Visa also. You'll also notice that they add on monthly versus daily discount an additional 0.02. So basically what that's telling you is that this merchant right here is paying 0.27% over interchange, and they're also paying 4 cents per transaction fee. Most of the time in my experience, I have found that merchants with this particular company pay a lot more than that. This merchant right here probably did a little bit of negotiating. But here's the good part. With us, Retriever Merchant Solutions, we have some flexibility. And that's why it's important that you read statements and you understand statements if they're available to you. Because I have some merchant companies that will look at a statement, or some representatives that will look at a statement and they're paying 1.18 and 8 cents, and then they'll say, yeah, we're going to lock you down to 0.25 and 10 cents, and we're going to save you a whole bunch of money. Well, that's not realistic, because you actually raised the rate and you moved it down. So you don't want to do that at all. Make sure you're looking at this part. These statements are very, very simple and very easy to understand once you know exactly what you are looking for. You will also look at service and regulatory mandate. If you go right to the corner, it says $33.50. That's the monthly fee. In many cases, this merchant company, this particular merchant company, will provide the equipment for the merchant. That's what's included into that service and regulatory mandate fee, $33.50 a month. Sometimes there may be some other monthly fees here. There's a $100 total fee, which they're paying looks like a gift card subscription fee, which seems to be pretty high there also. So what I would do with this merchant right here, now I know exactly where they're at. I'm going to say, going forward, Mr. or Mrs. Merchant, instead of being at 0.27 and 4 cents, your new rate starting today, and you notice that I take that assume approach, your new rate starting today is going to be 0.15, and we're going to keep the transaction fee at the 4 cents. I am going to upgrade you with this terminal right here, whichever terminal that you're doing, whether it's the Deja Vu or the Point or the Verifone. This merchant right here may just need a simple terminal, so I might do the Deja Vu and do it at 29 or 35, or keep it at that, 33.50. You want to make it make sense to the merchant. If you have to go up to 39, full 48-month warranty, 100% tax deductible, we put it on a full 48-month warranty lease program, and you get to write the whole thing off. And then once you're done explaining that, you're giving a summary. This is where it's going to be from now on. You were at this rate here. This is what it's going to be going forward. And then all I'm going to need from you today to get started, because everybody at this point says to me, Rich, this is a no-brainer. What do I need to do to get started? Who do you guys do your banking with? Bank of America? Well, all I'm going to need today is a check. You write void on it. I'm going to fill everything out. I'm going to put everything in writing, so you have it word for word exactly the way that I explained it. And then today is Monday, for example. You'll get the equipment by Wednesday. Office, maybe Thursday. Office calls you. They walk you through unplugging that terminal. Start out with a new terminal. We show you how to use it. And then we handle and we assist in canceling out your current provider. You will get a letter, however you guys do it. Some of you do the letter right up front. Some of you use my service. If you're part of the RMS super group, Holly will send out a letter to the merchant, full cancellation, as long as you provide the information to her with a stamped envelope, so the merchant would be able to cancel. So whichever way you do it, you're letting the merchant know that you are going to assist them in canceling out their current provider. And there you go. Simple as that. So when you look at these statements, this particular one going forward, I want you to understand, it's the Heartland statement. When you looked at it before, you may have said, man, it's 5 pages long. I see all these numbers. I see the transaction fees. I don't even know where to begin. Does that sound familiar? Been there. We've all been there. You look at them, and how do you think the merchant feels? They don't even know what it is at all. A lot of them don't even get a statement. So if you can walk into that business knowing exactly what you're doing, they're going to have an impression, and they're going to say, wow, this person really knows what they're doing. They're being sincere, they're being genuine, and they're believing in what they're doing, and they seem to be doing it with integrity. Once you've established that, you're going to have a lot of success. So keep that in mind. That's the first statement. I want to spend a lot of time. I don't want to race through these. I'm going to be doing a couple more shows on how to read these statements more effectively. So this way you can watch it over and over again. I know this is helping you. I know this is going to take you to the next level. It's my blessing and my privilege to be able to do this and share this with you. What I'm talking about is exactly what I'm doing, leading by example. Thank you for watching this show. Watch it over and over again. Remember, today is God's gift to you. What you do with this day is your gift back to God. We'll see you next time on RMS Sales Training and Inspiration. Have a super, fantastic, dynamite, exciting day.